Bakit Dwarf?
Dua, which is 2, and Rob and I, our initials are
Rob
so
Frey.
Dwarf. So yeah, pretty simple, nothing really to it. So 2 and our initials. When we started in 2018, and Rob got injured. Fast forward, we met Orlando, Deo, and April 1st was our first gig as a 4-piece. December as a 3-piece of 2021.
This is a question that we talk about offline, no? And let's bring it on the table and talk about it. Why haven't we broken out of the local scene?
Oh, we as a whole, right?
We as a whole. So all of us, what we did, in order to understand the local scene, we created different bands just to level the playing field so that none of the bands in the local scene can actually go, that's intro voice and all that stuff. That's why we split up, created our own little bands to see what's going on, and it's very promising. But the big question is, why do you think the local scene hasn't come out with someone who can stand up to the likes of Intro Voice, River Maya, Eraserheads, all these bands? Is it because we're stuck up in our own genre while the music has moved on? I'm trying to put some optional answers. What do you think it is?
Threw us off there for a bit.
I know.
I think since local bands here, most of the band members have their own families and commitments, and I think Filipino local bands can't fully commit to their to music.
That's deep. Good answer, Deo.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's kind of like here, unlike the Philippines, here it's more like a...
Welcome to the Paco's Place podcast. Here we go, and the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause live at Paco's Place, Dwarf! Actually, tama yung pagsabi ko. Ini-stress ko talaga yung DU di ba? Dwarf! Di ba? Frey,
Yes.
Chi, Jay, Eric, Deo. Ayun, big round of applause sa kanila. Kayong dalawa, mamaya na kayong dalawa, mga alumni na kayo eh. Okay, so silang tatlo muna. Jay, what do you do in the band?
I'm the producer and engineer of the band.
Okay. Do you play any instruments? No?
I do. I play drums.
Drums. So, mas nagpo-produce ka kaya sa drums?
Yes, but in what sense?
Pag live?
I'm practically producing and recording that set. I play drums, but I'm not the drummer for this band. Yeah.
How about you, Eric?
Yeah, me actually. I just kind of met these guys, and I was doing a little bit of remix work for them. So I'm actually not in the band. I'm just doing some remixing and producing work. Yeah, that's kind of me. Yes.
Deo?
I play bass for the band.
So what do you do?
I play guitar.
Guitars for the band. And Frey?
Yeah, same as Chi. We sing and play guitar for the band.
So you sing also for this band. So
Yes.
dito sa Dwarf, anong pangalan mo rito? Dito ikaw si Brolando? No.
Mr. O. They call me Mr. O.
Mr. Oath for this band. Oh, Mr. O. Okay. So you're interesting for now
yeah.
because, okay, how'd you meet them? How'd you meet the 4 guys in the band, Eric?
So I'm auditing classes at the Los Angeles Recording School, and I met this guy in class, and he just kind of introduced me one day. He was like, "Hey, this Sunday I'm recording a band. You want to come through and just watch?" And then I met these guys and just showed up to their show a couple weeks ago.
Wait.
Week.
So Jay, you recorded Dwarf live?
I record their EP.
No. We're talking about origin stories. So you met.
Yeah.
So you met Eric, right?
Right.
And you at that point, he watched you record what, Dwarf at a live show.
Not a live show, but recording in the studio.
So you went to a show or the studio to get your story straight.
Sorry. So I went to his studio to watch them record
There
their
you go.
EP.
There you go.
Yes, sir. And then I started visiting them at their show.
Okay, so when you see, shortcut. So when you saw them in the studio,
Yes.
what compelled you to hang out with the band?
Well, first off, Jade's a really nice, guy from class. We get along, but I really liked how the band was very open-minded with somebody like me. I'm not an instrumentalist like these guys. I'm not shredding guitar. I'm all in the box. I'm making beats in Ableton. I make hip-hop beats. I make EDM. But these guys were really open, and Jade kind of sent me one of their songs and was like, you want to try remixing this? Woo! And I just kind of threw something together in like a week or so, and then I just kind of showed them, and they really liked it. And I honestly, I wasn't really expecting that, to be honest, because it's very different. But yeah, they were just really kind to me, and I'm just, I'm glad to, work
Yeah,
with them.
the reason why I'm focused on you, Eric, is because these are opportunities that aren't planned. They're all spontaneous, like you and Jade meeting, Jade inviting you, you meeting Deo, or Orlando and Frey, and you now remixing and all that. It's all coming together, right? You, Jade, what made you invite Eric to be part of this this whole thing?
Well, we were talking about in school, like, trying to apply stuff in the real world, because like everything's like, in school just practicing, right? So I figured like, hey, if you want to come with, then, just doing the process, like what we learned from school and applying it. So, and he said, okay, let's do it. So I just like dragged him along with me.
Deo, who is Jade's friend among the three of you?
Actually, we met Jade with one of our shows, right?
Yes, our first show, April 1st. So it's our first
What a
time
joke,
playing.
right?
That's true. Local Pinoy, April 1st.
Okay,
Yes.
so April 1st, Jade was hanging out. You met him there.
Yes.
Did you know he was a producer, engineer? No.
He introduced himself. That's where we met. So
You
we met the whole
introduced
band.
yourself to the band.
He actually spoke to Annette while we were performing.
To do what? To say, check?
It's like, who are these guys?
What is it
Oh,
about
right,
Dwarf
Annette,
that piqued your interest among the bands that were there?
The sound, and because like my genre is basically their genre, so
Which is, to our
which
audience?
is hard rock,
Yeah.
grunge, like 90s, the 90s rock, alternative rock. So when I was watching them, like the first song, it was so like really heavy, which I thought it was cool. So at that point, I was just like, oh, I need to talk to these guys.
So when Deo, you guys were approached by Jade, were you guys skeptic? Were you guys excited? What was going through your head?
A little bit of both, because Rob, our drummer, wasn't here. It's not here right now, so he's at work. Yeah, I was talking with Rob, like, are we? Do you want to record the phrase songs or the band songs? And yeah, we discussed among us, and we agreed, and we went from there.
Yeah.
Orlando, Frey.
Well, me, I always think about the whole band at that point. So, of course, we've been doing it a while. Like, you meet someone new. And so, of course, you're not sure. I can't afford it. I can't afford the services. So, good thing, like, we worked with it. And we did the EP. So, in a few weeks, I guess, we're going to...
So to backtrack and to just get the timeline straight, April 1st, the four of you met. You met the three guys plus Rob, the drummer, right? That's you, Jade. Then after that, you guys started working. And in between April 1st and today, you dragged Eric to go to the studio while you guys were recording the EP. Did I get it correctly?
Yes, because we were a little bit in hiatus, like summer, right? Because we
Summer.
couldn't record, because like we did it at my garage. So the AC or like I don't have any AC in there, so it was like pretty hot to do other stuff or like the stuff that we need to finish. So after coming into the fall, there was one song left that we we're not recording because of like summer, so it was like the last song.
Right.
So then we were talking, and then I was about to record that song. So that's
when you dragged him.
yeah.
But for you to actually bring another person, a stranger to the band, into the recording process speaks volumes of how much you were confident to represent the band.
Yes.
And when you saw this was before the remix and all that stuff. Just sheer watching and observing, what was going through your head, Eric?
I mean, to be honest, it felt like, I mean, it's very new to me, right? Like,
Yeah,
I
'cause
haven't worked
coming from
like
if you're able to, you're like Skrillex, more of like that's your genre, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so it kind of felt like, I don't know, I just felt like I was just there, like kind of watching, you know?
Like organic
Yeah.
musicians really
And, you know,
going at it.
I wasn't even there to like plug in mics. Like I was just, you know, checking out the place. I just met this guy like a month before. I was like, you know, I'm just kind of sitting in the corner watching what happens. But yeah, I just thought it was like, I felt really out of place. But again, going back to like, they heard what I did and they liked it and they're like, oh yeah, this is good. Like, and you know, and the positive reinforcement from
Yeah.
Jade as well. I was like, it made me kind of feel, you know, more comfortable.
How young are you?
I'm 22.
22. Old enough to be your son.
Yes. Unfortunately. Yeah. No.
How does it feel that a 22-year-old is actually in awe of your daddy rock music?
Yeah, it was new to me. So of course, you know, I have kids, Eric's age, kid, I mean a daughter, and sometimes you meet at a certain influence, but it's not 100%. So I'm learning and vice versa. So
It's flattering,
Yeah.
like to have you mingle with everybody else, like to our generation, because we're all almost the same age.
Mhm.
This is like you're not a unicorn, no, but more of like sort of like a unicorn, because your generation is more walled to our type of music.
Yeah.
So for you to actually go with Jade and be immersed in this
Right.
and have all these thought process, you're speaking out to the young audience watching this podcast to actually just pay attention to the band.
Yeah, and you know, same could be said for the other way around. You know,
Exactly.
a lot of older folks, they don't really get the whole Ableton. It's not
Yeah.
real music, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like I was more open because I grew up listening to my parents' music.
Yes.
Talking Queen,
Oh.
ABBA, like classics. So of course, like this, it was cool to me, and just seeing it happen in front of me. I've never seen that before because I was all digital and
Right.
throwing samples together and stuff. So yeah,
You should have asked for samples from just kidding. But okay, now you guys.
I
okay?
did actually.
You did? Okay, now you guys. So now, here's a 22-year-old talented artist going to remix your songs. What was going through your head?
It's also like what Frey said, it's completely new for me. But then again, I look at one of my influences, Alice in Chains. They had somebody like do a trip hop version of one of their songs, and I figured, wow, we'll have a chance to have these done to our songs. It was like, why not? Maybe that'll introduce a new generation to our music, and like that, and it could be a crossover of sorts.
Wow.
So
Deo, you play bass, right?
Yes.
Have you and the rest of the guys and Jade, you can feel free to answer this. Have you guys talked about playing Eric's remixes live, like with tracks and loops and Ableton Live on stage?
Not yet, but when we listened to one of our songs that he
Use the
remixed,
mic, ah.
one of the songs he remixed, yeah, me and Rob were bumping it in the car. So like, this is cool, man. This is like Ibiza island music. Right?
Yes, right?
And yeah, we liked it. And
So is there an opportunity, like to Eric's point, for you guys to go into the Ableton live territory of performance?
well, actually, Day was already like when we started rehearsing, because if we were to also backtrack prior to April 1st, I originally it was just the three of us. It was Frey, it was Rob, and I played bass. He invited me to play bass to begin.
So the guitar, okay. So guitar is bass and then Rob on
So-
drums.
it was Rob and I who started before. It's like two of us. Then
Oh,
Deo-
Rob drummer, yeah.
Rob. And Deo and Rob go way back. So he invited Deo to come on board, but at that time Deo was still busy. Then I invited Orlando to play bass, so we could continue Dwarf, because Rob got injured and was out of commission for like 3 years. So from 2018, took a little break, then back to 2021. Then invited Orlando, then Deo came on board with Rob again. So it was the four of us. April 1st, that was the first gig for Dwarf as a four-piece.
And if I may, prior to that, I was here on October last year.
Yeah.
Few weeks later, when I subbed for Sharon's band Synthart to play
Yes.
bass, he actually came over and was like, "I didn't know you played bass." So he
Oh
was one
my
of the
God.
one who asked for my number. I mean, and I've already known him for, playing the scene, and so that led into that. And so when when Dave came into the picture, he was actually introducing the electronic elements. He was making some. He made some like electronic bits. So leading into that, sort of like
Right?
is already moving.
In that direction.
Yeah.
And then April 1st was your first gig as a four-piece, and that was the time Jade
Met us.
met you guys. Wow. Alignment of the planets, huh?
April 3rd, I was tracking the scratch tracks for
Jade,
at least one song.
how many bands have you produced?
I've been producing like my own band before.
But other bands, how many?
Other bands. This is the first one. This is like my first band, like other than my band too.
So the reason why I'm asking is because to wannabe producers or current producers out there, I mean, lucky for you, this band doesn't have an ego. But how do you deal with their personalities? How do you advise for producers out there? How do you bring out your ideas to the band?
You had to basically be friendly, like act like there's no producer artist type of thing going. And once you develop like
The
that
rapport,
level,
yeah.
So I just go from there.
Now, were you more hands-on, or would you just let them do what they want and capture whatever it is they're doing? What's your style?
With this band, actually, when I saw them the first time, I really thought that the songs that they were doing were raw, and like it needs to like I need to like restructure some of the songs, which we did. Me and Frey actually did that like when we first started to like make the record.
Okay. Prior to April 1st, you guys did not have a producer.
No, it was just Rob and I always kind of messing.
Mhm. How does it feel to have a third party?
In my case, doing the EP, restructuring the songs, it's my first time. So good thing it worked out, the reciprocation of ideas. And
Define good thing it worked out.
because you always hear from other
Yeah.
people that sometimes it just doesn't work out, no
Right.
chemistry. So good thing I was kind of smoother with the short amount we had.
Like, let's talk about trust. With regard to you trusting Jade with your music, because in your head you had a vision of how the music should sound like, right? So when Jade came in and moved it a little bit, what were you feeling inside? Honestly, what were you feeling inside? So that other artists who haven't worked with a producer can understand that it's a normal feeling. Is there any?
Well, in my case, luckily I've been playing consistently that I matured and learned how to kind of be open to music and criticisms.
There were criticisms also.
Well, it's normal.
From
I guess.
Jade?
It's constructive, like
Okay.
from everybody.
From everybody.
So, it's for the better. Because when I was younger, I was more
Hard-headed.
strict. I couldn't move on, so I learned how to loosen up so you could move on
Right.
and learn. But when I was younger, I was more rigid. But you're young.
How about you?
I've worked with few producers over the years, so they're there was some reservations.
Why? Explain to me why did you have some reservations?
Well, I've worked with
Bad experience with other producers.
Oh yeah. We could go off.
Let's go. Let's go. No. Because we're on the subject of producers, right? So,
but from that, with the bad also comes with the good, and
Right.
with that bad experience also, there's a learning experience to that. So, having a conversation with him is like
With-
really
with-
good. It was
with
like
Jade.
really comfortable.
Yeah.
So I asked him.
Okay, good.
I-
Hold on. Pay attention. What did you ask your producer? Because this way other people can learn from it. Diba? Not to just accept a producer to work with them. What were your questions like?
For you guitarists out there, the only thing I asked him, how are you gonna record my guitar parts? Are you gonna be miking my amp, or are you gonna recording me direct?
It's true.
And he told me, I'm planning to do both, and that sold me.
Yeah.
Safe answer.
Experimentation, right?
It's like asking a girl, if your girl says, "Do I look good here or there?" Both.
Yes.
So he sold you on that. Did he pull through with what he said?
Oh yeah.
How were you? What was your setup like?
Well, just like we talked about my guitars, I
Yeah.
have quite a bit of amplifiers.
Yes. Yes.
And so I asked. That year, I also started with my Line 6 Helix pedal board
Right.
rig, so I don't have to bring amplifiers to the gig these days. So I asked him, "Can I bring my amps to the studio?" He's like, "Sure." I have several amps. Like, yeah, just bring it.
Nice.
So I brought 3 heads, and I brought 2 cabinets. And that's
No IRs
well, we use my,
with a Helix. Yeah.
the Helix for scratch ideas.
Okay.
So we would when we would start, so we would be able to scratch our ideas there.
Without having to haul the big amps, right? But when it comes time to record the final product, instead of using the pedal board, you're
Yes.
using real amps.
Yes.
Sound based on the scratch sound
Correct.
that you got from the Helix.
Yes.
Were you there during the process when they were doing that, Eric? No.
I don't know if that was that day. Was it that day? The one that you
Maybe not yet.
probably not. No, this was probably early days. I was just in their probably most recent recording session. Like they had already, kind of established a working relationship, and so I wasn't here for this.
Deo, how about you? What was the question that you had? Like you said, you were kind of skeptic. What got you on the other side? How did Jade, as a producer, win you, push through with the project?
What sold me is the first day recording. It was really what do you call it? He was really attention to detail. That's how he was. But before that, Rob and I were talking. It's like, let's try this. Let's just go for it, man. What is there to lose? I'm like, yeah. And that weekend we the next weekend we recorded. Yeah.
So did you go straight into a preamp, or did you have an amp?
I have the orange Terror bass. So
Okay.
he did direct in a mic. Yeah?
There and same for you.
Yes, mic'd up. But for scratch, once we plugged in and just used.
Oh, so you arranged it scratch.
Mhm.
And then after that, when everything was done, did you bring home your demos to listen to?
Yeah, we exchanged the files. If
So
Jade,
you brought home a demo, and the reason why I'm asking is because sometimes bands and artists get married to the demo, to the point that when the final product comes along, you'll experience this as a producer. When the final product comes along, the band will give you some pushback because for some reason they're now desensitized and in love with the demo. They forget that it's a demo,
Yes.
that it needs to be mixed and all that. Did you guys experience that?
The thing is, when we recorded, at least I speak for myself, that
Yes.
I understand that, it's not yet this and
It's
that.
a final,
So,
yeah.
So in my case, I kind of know that, all right, it's not done yet. But to answer your question, good thing I didn't fall in love with the
You
demo.
didn't commit to that, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, now what is to be expected with the EP? How is this different?
Is it gonna be any different? Both yes and no, because we're all 90s influenced, but there's a lot of modern things. Yeah. Personally, we're bringing back a lot of like classic rock stuff that we grew up, with a modern touch. I mean, maybe it's nothing new, but it's something refreshing out of what you've been seeing, like the past decade or so.
Right.
And we're constantly. It seems like we thought we have these songs like figured out. Then Jade came along and helped us like structure these, like what Frey said, and it seems like we are still evolving. So that's what you could expect. We are still evolving at this. The best is still yet to come.
There you are. So this when this EP comes out, how do you plan to elevate Dwarf as a band with regard to this EP? Are you gonna go Hollywood? Are you gonna stay local scene, SoCal? Are you gonna proactively push the product so that more people can hear it? What's the goal?
Speaking for myself, yeah. I just like to play, so wherever this project takes us, I'm up for it, And can you add more stuff or?
How about you?
Well, yeah, well, this is a start, 5-song EP. Then we'll keep on making music. So, and it's my first time, so I'm learning from everybody in the circle. So we'll see. But I'm kind of too mellow sometimes, so I have to kind of work on that. Yeah.
How about you, Eric? Like you did some remixes here. Like what do you expect the band is going to do with the songs?
The remixes or the original? I mean, hopefully put it out, right? But
like, would you be bummed out if they didn't?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I want to be a big deal, though. I mean, hey, that's up to you guys, But I think it's a cool opportunity to just even try,
Right?
And it's like it's funny because you were talking about how like, oh, we're bringing back like old stuff, but it's like, hey, man, that's all new to me, man. I wasn't even born then, so like, it's cool working with stuff like that I've never worked with before.
So it's new.
I mean, it's new. It's new
Yeah.
working with even like recorded instruments, like remixing a rock song. I mean, it's new to me, so
Who are our artists? Like I know Skrillex just writes on his Mac. He doesn't even use a keyboard. He just uses the keyboard off the Mac.
Yeah.
David Guetta, no, he does use
He's probably
keyboards,
more natural, yeah.
right? But Ableton, I'm so in love with Ableton. So we might alienate the guys talking about Ableton. But now, let's let the guys alienate you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So everything that's old to us is new to him. Give me a song title and the artist, and let's see if he knows. As old as you can be. Remember, he only has 22 years of existence.
Spoonful.
Ha?
Spoonful.
Kahit ako hindi ko alam yun eh.
Howling Wolf.
Spoonful.
The Howling Wolf.
Howling Wolf.
Yeah.
Familiar?
Nah.
No. Okay. Give him one of yours.
Oh, like a song that he probably wouldn't know?
Yeah.
There's a song I was listening to on the way here. It's called Robert Pattinson by Baby No Money.
Is that a yes? No.
No.
Okay, Orlando, your turn.
I had a song in my head, but I forgot the title.
Even he doesn't know.
Right?
But maybe hold on, maybe a band. Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Ooh, nice. Look at his face.
That's like a phrase I know.
Ooh, your turn. Give him a song. Okay.
I'll just give you a band then.
You know what? All these songs that you guys are saying, I'm gonna put the Spotify link so they can, or the YouTube link so they can actually listen. So you guys can watch this podcast and go, oh.
Yeah, you mean I can go, oh, yeah, afterwards, yeah.
Okay, go. Give Orlando a song that.
Song. This is I'm gonna hit you with a classic.
Ooh.
There's a song called
Wait. Classic means Avicii.
Hey, it's around that time period. It's around.
Zed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, classic.
But there's this band called Cruella, or it's a trio. They wrote a song called Alive that really inspired me to start making music.
No?
No.
Deo, your turn. Give him a song.
Can it be on a band from the 2000s?
Yeah.
Okay. Ape Dust Meal by Glassjaw.
No?
No?
Give him one of yours.
Like a band and a song.
Yeah.
What's like a band that I really like? This one you might know. But there's this album called Skin by Flume.
Oh my god. Okay, how does it feel, Eric, that you're actually existing in a plethora of music that you and your generation like, that these three men are not familiar with? That's the first thought. And yet, you guys cohesively get along with their music. How does it feel now? Put that in your head right now,
Right.
the way I placed it, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's very like surreal. Like again, like I wasn't expecting them to like it, or it's like, it's you just threw this, beat under this stuff that we record. Like I honestly expected a negative reaction. If I'm
Maybe from Rob, right? Because you just took the drummer's role away.
and I just messed up all their music, but like they're really open to it, and I was thinking about it too. Like you were talking about Skrillex, he has a song with the Doors.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's how I know the Doors, through that song.
Right? Bridging the gap, right?
Right. So it's possible.
Yes.
And Skrillex has a song even with like Bob Marley's son,
Yep.
and it's like, they did it, So it's like, why not us,
Correct. Now you big plans. Are you worried now? You're not Filipino, right? Are you?
No.
The Filipino music is the music scene here in Los Angeles. Do you think after working with Dwarf, is it encouraging for you to seek out other Filipino artists here in LA and work with them?
Oh yeah, of course. That's kind of why I've been going to these. Or I only went to one show, like on
Right.
Saturday, but I'm planning to go to a lot more, and I want to meet these other bands that they know, and they're not in like my genre, and I might not even work with them, but
But then again,
yeah,
the appreciation of music, right?
exactly. And it's really cool. Like, again, like it's kind of sets these bands apart, because it's like I've never seen a group of 4 Asian dudes in LA like making me right, like. And it's like, hey, I'm not Filipino, but we're the same.
Asian.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. So, and you just go in there, I get along with Jade and stuff.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like, why not get along with these guys?
Cool.
And I'm just, keeping an open mind.
Open mind. That's a good word, right? When Eric came to the picture, were you did Jade prepare you to have an open mind, or did he have to convince the 4 of you that, look, we're bringing 22-year-old Eric into the picture to mess around with your songs?
But we were open to it, because even before
You were open to it.
Deo was already making.
You were ready. Mickey.
Yeah, I was like doing samples, like 1 minute songs, like electronic songs. So.
Yeah.
Based on all his riffs, everything that you guys
Not
did.
yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But that was the plan. So Deo does something.
So Deo, so you would dabble into remixes. When Eric came along, well, wait a minute, I wanted to do the remixes, or did you just?
Not really. I was like really on board. Like, let's do it. Let's do it with Eric. Yeah. And then that's when Rob and I listened to
Yeah, you were bumping.
his first remix of one of our songs, and we
Okay.
were happy.
So I'm gonna ask you, because I think you're more immersed into this whole remix than both of them. Guitar player syndrome. Anyway, so when you heard his work after remixing the songs of Dwarf, what was your initial reaction?
We were cheerful. We were like bumping it into the car. We were like kind
No,
of.
but be specific, be articulate. What about his remix did you like from one person who can do it to another?
I think Yeah, it's unique. First, yeah, unique because it was he remixed the phrase vocals, so it was like new, refreshing, like compared to the rock style that Dwarf have. Then he added his flavor to it. So yeah, we were joyful, I guess.
When you say flavor, did you touch his guitar parts?
Well, the interesting part is actually I didn't even get the stems at first.
You had no stamp.
No, I was just working with like the final, like
Yeah.
just one
Final
MP3,
mix.
What?
and it's funny because like kind of on the side I make like these hip hop beats, and
Right.
they're kind of sampling these old
Right,
soul
yeah.
records, and like those are kind of, they're not stems, right?
No.
So Jade was kind of like, well, just do that with one of our songs,
Huh.
and I was like, that's not like, soul is more like open parts,
Yeah.
there's like acapella sections,
This one, it's kind of tight, right?
Yeah, it's tight, and like there's not much like just vocal, just guitar. It's like everything's happening
Yeah.
at the same time, and
One on top of the other.
yeah. But I think that that was kind of like a blessing in a way, a blessing in disguise. Because at first I was really stumped. So I'm like, I can't isolate the vocals, I can't do this.
Right.
But just chopping the song up and stuff, I feel like it really kind of, it added again my flavor to it, but it kept like what they did, and you can tell like what song it is because it is the song just chopped up. So it's like it feels very like this.
Unlike if you
middle
had the
ground.
stems, you would have probably moved things around separately,
Exactly, yeah.
right?
Yeah, it would have been, unrecognizable
Yeah.
at that point. And I did eventually end up getting the stems to work with, but I think, working with that, having that challenge at the
Yeah.
beginning is kind of like, I might just purposely, go back and just
Right.
not work with the stems, and keep that flavor and keep their work alive, because it kind of, again, because I wasn't able to
Yeah,
chop things
that's
up.
nice. So keep their work alive.
Yes.
Yeah. What gear do you use?
MacBook.
Right, but how do you chop? You chop
Oh.
from the screen, or do you use something like push?
Oh no, I'm just all in the screen, yeah. And yeah, like I tried the push stuff like
Yeah.
on a MIDI keyboard, but I like seeing the visual of like the waveform, chopping,
Right,
reversing,
right.
stretching,
Oh.
and it's like I just kept working like that, and then I could never, I didn't have the money to buy stuff, so I was just like working around my, budget.
Right.
But I ended up just kind of getting used to that, and I just going in, chopping stuff up. Yeah, I just work all just on my MacBook.
Damn.
Yeah.
So after this EP, when it's out, are you guys going to try to recreate the EP remix? Like I know I said a while ago, backing tracks, but what are you guys going to do different? Is this coming out? Are the remixes coming out, or just the original version?
At first, the original. I'm not sure what Jade has plans with the remix, if it's done or not. I only heard one song.
I think he brought up the idea that it's gonna be on the B side of the
Oh.
the
Oh,
EP.
okay. All
So-
right.
B-side, which means you guys are doing a vinyl on no.
Maybe that's for the full length album.
So now let's talk about Dwarf. How committed are you guys with Dwarf? Because you have a lot of bands. How many bands do you have? You have Monarch, you have Dwarf. How committed are you guys to this band?
Well, I'm very committed because even when we started last year with Orlando on bass, then Rob getting stronger back from injury, and it's an all original band. I told everybody that this is just the start, the 5-song EP, just to make it faster.
Right.
So these are my songs, but now we're working on Orlando's songs, Deo's, and so just making music enough for a full length album, I guess.
Honestly, I thought I was subbing also with the December gig. I thought I was subbing in for a bass player. And
No,
then-
it was just
then-
two of us before.
And then we had a great reception from that. That was
December.
Red Elf's production, right?
Right.
In December.
With the Vince
Yeah.
and everybody.
We had such a great reception. Like everybody's like, "Oh, the songs are like amazing," and like when do we guys see? It's like, "Oh, this could be something." It's like, okay, and then I thought I was like bass mode, and then I was gonna be thinking I was gonna be bass player, and then he mentioned that, "Is it okay if I move you to guitars? Because Rob's friend is gonna come back and play bass. I was like, sure, why not?
That's Deo.
And then we played that April 1st show, and we also had like great reception from that one. It's like, man, like those songs, like, even better from last December's gig. And it's like, I think we're onto something here. So as far as the commitment part, like, yeah, I'm all in on this one.
Deo.
Yeah, I'm committed to this band. Yeah. So basically, I'm contributing whatever Frey wrote and adding
Yes.
whatever I could to improve the song, each song.
Now let's talk about the local scene.
Oh, Dave's been playing while he was in a band with Benji.
With who?
Benji.
He's
Benji.
the second player for Spiral Echo.
Spiral Echo.
Oh yeah, I played for Spiral Echo.
I don't know the guy. No, just kidding. Shout out Benji Collantes. Okay.
Paco doesn't.
Love the guy. So, okay. This is a question that we talk about offline, no? And let's bring it on the table and talk about it. Why haven't we broken out of the local scene?
Oh, we as a whole, right?
We as a whole. And the reason why I speak, because of course, Intro Voice, all of us, Jonathan, Vic, JJ, and myself, members of Intro Voice, so all of us, what we did, in order to understand the local scene, we created different bands just to level the playing field, so that none of the bands in the local scene can actually go, that's Intro Voice and all that stuff. That's why we split up, created our own little bands to see what's going on, and it's very promising. But the big question is, why do you think the local scene hasn't come out with someone who can stand up to the likes of Intro Voice, River Maya, Eraserheads, all these bands? Is it because we're stuck up in our own genre while the music has moved on? I'm trying to put some optional answers. What do you think it is?
It threw us off there for a bit.
I know. If you guys are watching, put it in the comments below. Yeah, your thoughts and your answers as well.
I think since local bands here, most of the band members have their own families and commitments, and I think Filipino local bands can't fully commit to their to music.
That's deep. Good answer, Deo.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's kind of like here, unlike the Philippines, here is more like a hobby. Mm-hmm. Unlike in the Philippines, you could commit
all
yourself,
out, yeah.
all out, being in a band.
So mindset, commitment and mindset is your answer.
Yes.
Lack of commitment, a shift in mindset. Is it safe to say that was to summarize what you're saying?
Yes.
Frey, how about you?
Well, me, I try to play a lot, but I invited, for example, Revenge of the Fishballs to one of the Cave Underwater gigs we had. That the demographic was different. It was in San Fernando, Richie Valens' gym. So the crowd, we were the only Filipinos there, but everybody loved the music, musicianship. So it's just a matter of the bands just playing and looking for gigs that would elevate the band.
Some proactivity, lack of proactivity, probably.
Just, my opinion.
Yes, but in your case, for Revenge of the Fishballs, you guys are more proactive, looking for gigs outside your demographic. Right?
Well, I invited them, and they were so happy. So it was an original Cave Underwater gig, which I founded with my buds.
Nice.
So with that, they were so happy, even though they've done it before. But this was March of this year. It looked like they were having fun because it's not your home court.
Right.
Yeah.
Chi?
I had to think about that also for a second. There's a lot of talent,
Sobra.
especially lately.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of let's be honest. Like we have a lot of
Super.
our fellow Calabayans that we are talented.
Yep.
But we tend to just either be complacent with just playing it safe, as far as like, just blending in. We're just good at blending in. As far as like standing out, that's
Assimilation.
that's a different ball
Nice.
game. So I think, and it should be like apparent now that we should start to like rise up and
Yeah. Like what you
Be
guys are
more-
doing. Yeah, exactly. Like what you guys are doing here with Dwarf. That
Yes.
remix that like involving Eric, 22 years old, different mindset, different outlook, different interpretation, different outcome with regard to how you envision the music. Am I making sense? Are you picking up on what I'm saying? This is a game changer in collaborating with people outside of your genre.
And we still do the live gigs, and we're trying to play at least once a month different bars that we're not used to.
Right, right.
So, yeah, just trying out new ground and getting feedback, learning.
You know what? You know what would be nice if you guys could collaborate with some EDM or not even EDM, but some club DJs and play the remix there live,
it's possible.
right?
Yes.
Because what we've been doing, like, prior to Eric getting involved, like, they was like making all these like electronic samples and stuff. And I recently decided to like bring out my looper, which I used to do with my old band, just so it like fills up space.
Yes,
in between.
sir.
So it adds a different, it added a different element to the band as far as intros.
Right.
And of course, me being like the, my mischievous 20-year-old self, I decided to like, it was, and it was Deo's original idea to put like classic Filipino dialogues,
Ooh,
so,
on the looper.
yeah, it was his original idea, and then I just like took that ball and went with it. So I've been trying to play that on the shows, and we've been getting like great reactions with that. So it's our responses have been really good with regards to like new element that we've been adding.
It's always like a fun 30-minute set. It's just like solid audio clips in the middle. It's just fun.
Nice. Eric, going back to you, hearing their answers with regard, this is new. This question and answer part is new to you because you're not familiar with the Filipino music scene, right?
Not at all.
All of us have been here for a while, long while, right? You come along, you're changing the dynamics of their songs. Probably, hopefully, you could change the dynamics of other artists, not just Filipino, but till you become this big time, big shot producer and all that. But what's your goal? Why are you doing this?
Like music in general, or like specifically with these guys?
Everything.
Well, I mean, of course, music always starts out as a hobby.
Yes.
You think somebody's cool, you want to be like them. Again, that was Skrillex for me, And I think after a while, it's just, I just keep coming back, doing music, it just makes me happy. And once I found out that there's, avenues into the music industry, you can be an engineer, go to school for engineering, and it's just like, it was like a little clearer path. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take this path. But, the reason I do this, I like it, man. It's the one thing I could do like every day and not get sick of it,
Ooh.
It's not work.
But yeah, it's not work, exactly. And there's like a quote or something. It's like, pick a job you love, you won't work a day in your life,
Yeah.
It's like, that's exactly how I feel about this, I don't feel like when we're going to class, I say, oh, we're going to class. But like, I go to class when I don't even have class. I just show up and I'm like, what's up? Like, it doesn't feel like class. It feels like I'm messing around. And the fact that people have careers and like, people support themselves through this is like, that's the dream, So, and not to say I'm like chasing money or whatever. I'm, it's just because
It
like
follows. Money follows.
exactly, yeah. So just keep doing, what I love, making the music I want to
Right.
make, and these guys give me like a cool outlet to do that as well. Where I'm challenging myself, but they're also pretty lenient with me. They just let me make whatever I want, and then if they like it, that's cool. So I think it's a cool place to be working with these guys, and it's also a lot of cool experiences, meeting cool guys, and cool opportunities. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. What more can you ask for?
True.
Yeah.
Deo. So my question to you is, now that we've uncovered that you said lack of commitment, mindset, you Frey, proactivity, and you Chi, more of doing something, more of standing out, right? Very simple formula. but very perfect. What's your commitment to the Filipino community and the music community in general, having known that there are these gaps that we uncovered for Dwarf and other bands like Dwarf to actually be known in the community? Again, if you forgot the message, they are, according to Dwarf, and I agree, some of them are lack of commitment. You know, like we think it's a hobby. Next is mindset, right? Shift in mindset, because hobby, career, hobby. And Yuchi, you said we're good at blending in, but we need to stand out. We need to be unique. And what you guys are doing, bringing Jade, bringing Eric in, makes it that. You, Frey, proactivity, instead of waiting for the gig to come in, you go out and look for the gig to get your band more exposure. Okay? So, in case you guys...
the band's committed already.
Yes.
So just look for gigs, and the band, if available, will be there.
Yes. So there you go. You guys have that. What can we expect from Dwarf?
Dwarf, what we can expect? For sure, we'll still play live shows.
Yes,
At
live.
least once a month. We'll try to play different crowds. Like not just the Filipino crowd. Like next month we're playing at what was the venue? again?
Downtown, Redwood.
The Redwood Bar.
Going off with that, I've been doing what my elder sister used to do with our old bands. I used to just like play and leave. My sister stayed until the end.
Right.
So everybody knew her. So that's how she was able to network and get
Yeah.
gigs for the band.
Yes.
So I started doing that too.
Good for you.
So first time it's like ever since our last from
Yeah.
last year,
Yeah.
I started like doing that. I've been going to this place Mondays at the Last Call in Tarzana.
Last call.
Been ever since I've been going there, been meeting all new people, new networks, and
Right.
with that you meet people, and you know that they're gonna be in bands, and so it eventually led up to this opportunity of like getting us involved, and then he said like, oh shoot, there's one of the bands backed out, and so and first thing I thought, because Francis Nuega I also invited Francis to Mondays there. I figured, why don't I ask Francis if he could bring Calrats to
Right.
the bill, so that way we'll have two Filipino bands like represent.
Yeah.
At Last Call. Yeah.
Actually, it's for Redwood.
Redwood,
The
okay.
Redwood gig, and they're all for it. So we're all excited. It's gonna be different
Different
type,
crowd.
different genres, and it's just like it's not gonna be pigeonholed into all like rock, but it's
So you're
different
finding a way
styles.
to stand out,
Yes.
diba? Even by bringing the demographic or just the type of music of your genre and all that.
But with that, also it's just like all collectively great music that everybody could get into. So it's gonna be a win-win for all involved.
Right.
Yes.
Frey, what can
well,
they expect from Dwarf moving forward?
Well, from April 1st, we've been doing original songs. So, yeah, Dwarf is an original rock band.
Bakit Dwarf?
Dua, which is 2. And Rob and I, our initials
Are
are
Rob
so
Frey.
Dwarf. So, yeah, pretty simple. Nothing really to it. So, 2 and our initials when we started in 2018. And Rob got injured. Fast forward, met Orlando, Deo. And April 1st was our first gig as a 4-piece. December as a 3-piece of 2021.
Are you guys
yeah.
excited?
Really, especially if you get a chance, you should see especially
Now I'm excited. I want to hear your work also, Eric.
Yes.
Are you excited? Are you excited for this band?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm super excited for the EP. Obviously, it's like I was there, saw the legend in the making, So it's gonna be kind of cool when it comes
Dude,
out.
that's nice. The legend in the making. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
it.
And it was Kosa that he heard us track, which is in Tagalog. So he couldn't understand the word we were tracking. But Kosa is the only Tagalog song in the EP. So
Kosa, that means good, a good friend, buddy. With Kosa.
without giving it all away, he was there to witness like equipment failure.
Yeah.
And they, it brought out a great conversation between him and Jade. Like, how did, they got all, everybody got technical, and I was just like, you know what, I'll bring another equipment to like substitute, maybe it'll, work. But came Sunday, it did not work again, and I just had to improvise and so that would have to be reintroduced on the full-length album, so to speak. But everything happens for a reason. So yeah, that was I'm sure that was a great that was an interesting experience for Eric to witness that firsthand. It's like, what just happened?
Yeah, I can't just close this app and just refresh. Like, what is this? Just turn it off, bro. Yeah.
Doesn't work that way, bro.
Hey, that was my guess. That was the best guess I had.
So, this being said, are we going to see more of you guys or less of you guys?
I think it's going to be more, but we base it on how busy everybody is, for example, stages of life.
Right.
But as of now, for example, October, we had 3 gigs in 1 month, which we normally don't do.
Wow.
So it's kind of picking up, as Orlando said. It's like positive stuff from people. So we're happy. We get invited.
Well, I'm glad you guys are happy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dwarf. Thanks, Dale. Thanks, Eric. Orlando, thank you. Frey. Guys, please subscribe, like, and share this episode. Also, please follow Dwarf on your social media channels as well as Spotify. Mga natin natin.